Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Tiffany Murphy. Tonight, we're learning that 1 out of every 3 residents in Port Arthur lives in poverty. According to Texas welfare statistics, the poverty rate in Port Arthur is nearly double the state average. KFDM's Angel San Juan joins us tonight in the studio to tell us why the NAACP says this should not be the case. Angel?
Port Arthur is home to a large portion of the United States' oil refining capacity, and the city is seeing expansions in several refineries and petrochemical plants. But members of Port Arthur's NAACP chapter say citizens are not benefiting from that boom, and they blame tax breaks for the city's heartbreak. Motiva's move to transform historic downtown Port Arthur buildings into office space is breathing new life into structures that stood vacant and deteriorating for decades. The facelift is long overdue for city leaders who dream of downtown development. Still, there are doubts that this will mean the resurgence of the entire city.
Don't be fooled by what you see, because there can be more.
Ike Mills is chairman of the Economic Development Committee for the NAACP. He points elsewhere and says, look away from the renovation work downtown to where there remains a city in decline.
It is good to see that. We applaud them for doing that, but they got to do more, just like not only Motiva, but the other industry as well.
The Port Arthur chapter of the NAACP is shedding light on the city and Jefferson County's history of granting tax abatements to industry. Some in Port Arthur say their local leaders are giving away too much in tax breaks to big business at the expense of citizens who are paying their taxes.
Our city, for the most part, when you look at it, I mean, I've been here over 30, almost 40 years, and one of the major issues has always been we have the most industry in this city, in the county. But when you look at our city looks like the worst city in the county. So it doesn't add up.
Tax abatements are used as incentives to attract industry to build, expand, and invest in a community. But the Port Arthur NAACP says tax breaks given to industry in Port Arthur are causing heartbreak.
Most time when you abate those taxes, then obviously you don't have that to put back into your community.
Clay Roy holds the title of First Vice President of Port Arthur's NAACP. He says the city's infrastructure could benefit from the tax dollars that industry is not paying.
If we did give an abatement, everybody would pay their fair share of taxes, and we would get our roads fixed without waiting on the federal, the county to give us any assistance, because we would have it here.
Roy says if local leaders are going to offer tax breaks, they need to hold industry accountable and make sure those companies enhance the quality of life for their neighbors.
There is a lot of people here in Port Arthur that the refineries are in their back doors and they can't work.
Roy says many of those jobs and refineries in Port Arthur go to out-of-towners instead of locals. The NAACP says that's just another example of the city and its citizens not benefiting from those tax breaks industry continues to receive.
And talking to a number of the economic development professionals outside of the area, they are trying to figure out, well, what is happening with the money? And so those are some issues that we need to dig deep into to really try to address some of these issues.
The NAACP has extended an open invitation to the owner of Saudi Aramco, Motiva's parent company, to tour Port Arthur. Mills wants him to see firsthand when taxes are abated, the city cannot provide the necessary resources to service the needs of the community. During his campaign last year, Mayor Thurman Bartee questioned the effectiveness of long-term tax abatements. Mayor Bartee said large oil and gas companies should provide in-kind services to the city in exchange for any type of tax break. I spoke to him tonight, and he says abatement agreements should be designed with the goal of benefiting those living in Port Arthur, especially when it comes to job opportunities. Last year, State Representative Joe Desatel also expressed concern in a letter to Jefferson County Judge Jeff Brannick about how these tax breaks can negatively impact the Port Arthur School District's budget, which relies on that tax revenue. Tiffany?
Thanks, Angel.